Hi. In this presentation, I will summarize our work on PopSift SYCL, which is a cross-vendor implementation of the SIFT algorithm using SYCL. So the SIFT algorithm is a robust and useful feature extraction algorithm in computer vision, but high-performance implementations are usually implemented in CUDA. So our goal was to port PopSift, which is a very well-known SIFT implementation in CUDA, and port it to SYCL without cutting algorithmic corners and trying to enable it to be executable across different GPUs. So I will go through the main problem with PopSift and what it contributes to, the core SIFT pipeline and why so it's manning on parallel hardware, and what we intentionally did change and what we intentionally did not change in our SYCL port. I'll go through the correctness and performance results in our across the different vendors, and some key research takeaways about portability versus performance and future work. So the context is the SIFT algorithm, standing for the scale invariant feature transform. And it's a pipeline for detecting local structure images and trying to represent them in a 128-dimensional vector. And it's widely used in image matching, structure for motion, visual localization, and in our context, 3D reconstruction. But it's relatively quite compute intensive. You have to build a scale space, a search for extreme through scale space, refine key points, assigning one or more orientations, and then trying to represent it as a descriptor for each assigned orientation. And PopSift managed to do so with NVIDIA graphic cards without cutting algorithmic corners. And yes, and you all know, all of you know the downsides with being vendor locked. So just skip the benefits of why I tried to implement it with SYCL.
Right.
Yes,
Yeah.
So I'll just go fastly through or swiftly through the core pipeline. So it starts with loading the input image and grayscale it if it's with colors, and upscale it by a factor of usually 2 to detect fine scale structures, and then building a Gaussian pyramid where each octave consists of about 6 levels of different of the same resolution with different progressively Gaussian blur, and then downsampling by a factor of 2, and building a pyramid with this iteratively. And the third stage is computing the difference of Gaussian, which just subtracts adjacent Gaussian levels, and then computing or detecting key points by comparing candidate pixels, key point pixels, by its neighbors in the previous, current, and the next dot levels, and then refining it to subscale and subspace, rejecting it if the contrast is too low, and rejecting it if it has edge-like attributes. And then for each detected key point, you build a 36-bin histogram, and based on the gradients associated with each bin, you try to assign an orientation. And if there are many more than one strong orientation, you'll assign usually 1 to 4. And lastly, you do a bit more computation based on the detected orientation and represent it with a 128-dimensional vector, and additionally normalize the vector. So each core SIFT stage has mixed computational characteristics. Some are more memory bound, others are sensitive to cache behavior, and most importantly, interpolation support from the CUDA textures. So it is quite important that we recognize that the portability framework can affect these different behaviors. And in our analysis, this non-uniform behavior across the stages was one of the key findings. So why is the CUDA texture support so important? It gives normalized coordinates and hardware bilinear interpolation and sampling. And the way the key kernel GPU threads are mapped supports coalesced memory access and branch minimized extrema testing, which reduces the branch divergence. And a lot of CUDA primitives are utilized throughout the different stages. So on the host side, there's a lot of fine-tuning. It utilizes an asynchronous pipeline design with a non-blocking data flow architecture where input images are placed in a queue and having two threads on the CPU where one is responsible for transferring the image data to the GPU and the other one orchestrating the kernel execution. So our goal was to have a single code base to be able to be run on both DPC++ and adaptive CPP, and without cutting algorithmic corners. So to not conflate the optimization on the host side and the kernel runs, we kept a synchronous pipeline. And one of the compilers didn't have a measure SYCL image support. And so we had to do a workaround. So adaptive CPP didn't have a SYCL image support. So our workaround was to implement the images through buffers. And since CUDA textures has hardware accelerated interpolation, we had to implement it manually on the device. So we ended up with a PopSift chain preserved, where some stages were less competitive than the CUDA implementations, and other cases it was faster. So where I tested my code was on the similar research laboratories EX3 data cluster. I tried to make test it on all combinations of the two compilers and different vendors, but I could manage to make benchmark on stable settings. The only ones I could do was on adaptive CPP and on NVIDIA V100 and on my local machine where I utilized adaptive CPP on a RTX 4050 by NVIDIA, and another one on MIT on AMD. And I had some problems with trying to benchmark on the DPC++, and I only couldn't manage it on a single Intel GPU on the cluster. So I used 5 representative images that differs on the scale and the number of or feature richness or the number of features, and which is important because some stages scale with the image size and some with the number of features. And for the correctness test, which I detected some differences in the descriptor values, but by a very small fraction, and on the coordinates, but was so small it was pretty insignificant. But on the detection of the key points, it was deterministic across all vendors and all settings. But it always had, on most cases, that had less detected key points and orientations. There was some numerical differences that wasn't significant on the SYCL code. On the CUDA, it was less compared to the benchmark PopSift, which was the per CUDA pipeline, but even more on the AMD and even furthermore on the Intel setting. But however, you can see the geometric recognition of that baseline is still faster. And you can see that the stages that are most reliant on the hardware accelerated interpolation by the CUDA texture are the ones who have the biggest slowdowns. And this is further shown in this table, where the only ones that are faster are the ones that doesn't utilize the CUDA texture support. For the normalization stage, it was mainly because it was not properly optimized on the CUDA benchmark or baseline. But on the all other stages without the difference of Gaussian computation, all of them have a slowdown, and it's and I interpret it as mainly because of the lack of hardware accelerated interpolation. The difference of Gaussian, I believe why it's a bit faster is it's because it's the cache behavior of having a buffer is better in this case because it's a simple subtraction operation. And I did some benchmarking on the different vendors. The scaling is consistent, but I don't know why the DPC++ on the Intel GPU was so slow. If anyone from the Intel people could comment on it later, I would highly appreciate it. I got some comments from the other similar researchers that also has said that they had some similar problems. So it mainly could be the GPU, but I could manage to get my hand on another GPU from Intel, so I cannot diagnose why is it so slow. But either way, it's consistent on scale and on adaptive CPP. So the one cycle code base works across different GPUs and SYCL compilers, and it's pretty deterministic, and the correctness is quite good. However, CUDA is still faster, but the slowdown is stage specific more than in the text heavily utilized stages of CUDA textures. However, if you would like to use this code, our PopSift cycle is better for portability, and for peak performance, CUDA is the better one. So the key research trade-offs or takeaways was that we prioritized a clean single source multiple compiler over peak performance. And what we could do later is maybe re-add the asynchronous pipelines and to work around the lack of the SYCL image support. We could do some interoperability where we could utilize directly the CUDA textures or what corresponds to CUDA textures on the other vendors, but that will do a lot of divergence from a single source code. However, portable texture memory support would be highly beneficial, so please don't deprecate SYCL image. Otherwise, we could do a lot more benchmarking across architectures and tool chains and try to analyze why the numerical differences was different across the different settings. Yeah, I was supposed to also present this to some people working on a 3D reconstruction application, where I wanted to try to promote SYCL instead of CUDA. So I'll just skip this part. And so our key takeaways was that the cycle code base runs correctly across the different vendors. However, that there is a performance penalty, but localized where cycle is not lacks measure support. So yeah, SYCL image, one SYCL image. That's it. Thank you.
Yeah, you say you wanted SYCL images, but it actually in SYCL, It's just that it's optional and not all compilers support it.
Yeah.
Not all devices support it. Do you have any plans or like you willing to have a SYCL code path that would work through DPC++ on video GPUs and other GPUs with the texture sampler that would at least eliminate that variable? Because you could have a SYCL code base that uses images today. It's just chose not to use it.
Yeah. So there's nothing like stopping me from that, but I want to have it to be to show that there's a lack of SYCL image support. That's all it actually.
In some compilers,
in some
devices.
Yeah, so if it could be standardized, that's like the main message from this presentation.
Okay.
Because if in computer vision, computer textures are heavily optimized, are used in deep learning for image analysis. It's heavily used. So for SYCL to have a competing edge would be to also support or have a support for SYCL image. Yeah.
And are you happy with when you use SYCL image? Do you think we are missing some API, stuff like that for the API?
I would use SYCL image.
I mean, as Ben said, right, we have support in terms of sonor content numbers, but we have SYCL image support as far as I know. We have sample image, but it's you have like too many image cards.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so just the image, not the sample.
Any other questions?
Yes.
Have you tried also the generic architects?
The generic, I tried to use it, but I had some problems with the cluster, so I forgot to benchmark it properly.
No more questions. Thank you again, Mohan.